આજે આપ શાના વિશે વાત કરવાના છો અને શું સમજાવવાના છો તે જણાવશો.
ભારતનું બંધારણ કઈ રીતે 3000 વર્ષનો ઇતિહાસ બદલી શક્યું છે તે આ મોડલ દ્વારા હું સમજાવવાની અંગ્રેજીમાં કોશિશ કરું છું. ઇંગ્લિશમાં ના હોય?
હા.
So friends, there has been a lot of debate in the country about the Indian Constitution, and what I'm trying simply here is trying to explain through several models what the Constitution actually means. And today, through this model, it's a simple video and instruction I'm trying to present about how Indian Constitution has been able to change the history of India. It's not merely a book, it has been able to change the history of India. So let me begin by this question: what was the idea of India in 1947? And the answer is simple, that India had to become an independent nation. Someone will ask, independence from what? So India was seeking independence from three things: British rule, caste, and patriarchy. Because these three together had enslaved India economically, socially, and politically. So the idea of India was to become an independent nation. How would that happen? It had to happen only through Indian Constitution. Now, Constitution is not merely a book where you can turn a page. Constitution basically is an exercise where every single citizen is involved in a way of life. So the Constitution asked two basic questions to the Indian population, what we call direction. Number one, do you want to travel the path of the religion, or do you want to travel the path of the science? If you're wanting to be in the path of religion, then you don't expect anything revolutionary to happen. Science can definitely change things. And the second direction was, do you want to continue to remain in the past, or do you want to travel towards future? So definitely India as a whole said that they want to move from religion to science and from past to the future. So with that direction, India decided to change its direction towards becoming independent country, independent nation. To be able to do that, there are three basic principles which we had to make it a way of life. One, that we are a sovereign nation. It means there is no external pressure on us. We can make our own laws and make our own policies. Number two, we are a socialist nation. The wealth of the country will not be confined in the hands of the few people. There is space for both privatization and what we call the government or the public sector. And the third, democratic setup. The change of power in the country will happen only through elections. With that framework set, India was poised to change in a direction. But who will change? The people had to change. When will people change? When their interests are served. So the constitution promised two things. One, equality to all citizens, equality of status and equality of opportunity. And number two, justice, economic justice, social justice and political justice. When the citizens felt their needs have been addressed, they decided to go along with the constitution to change the future of the nation. So this is the movement that happened. That was the idea of India and the movement. So we moved towards science, towards future, towards independence. But this movement cannot stand on its own, it needs support. The support has to come from the citizens, from the people. And therefore, the constitution said two things. Fundamental rights are guaranteed to people. And basically these are three values: equality, liberty and fraternity. This will become the way of life. But the constitution says only rights cannot change the nation. There has to be an equal weightage on the duties. So the rights and the duty have to go together. So the three basic duties that the constitution advocated: one, there has to be communal harmony. All religion are equal. Dignity of the women have to be protected at any cost. And third, the nation has to develop scientific temperament. If that happens, then the people who come forward to support these movements. So on one hand we can see there are duties, and on the back side you will be able to see these are the constitutional values, and which basically are the basis for fundamental rights. Now the support is there, but support is not enough. You need more support, and therefore the people are moving down with their rights protected and duties as a conscious citizen. They want to create support for the Indian Constitution in this movement. But what does this support mean? The support essentially means we the people. If there is something which is most important for the Constitution, it is the people. The people are at the center of the Constitution. A small historical anecdote. There was a huge debate in the Constituent Assembly, and many people suggested that the beginning of the Constitution should be in the name of God, not in the name of the people. There was discussion, there was deliberation, and there was voting. Majority votes fell for the proposal that we the people is how the Constitution will begin. Therefore, if you see, it is we the people who are supporting the Indian Constitution and the movement. And that is the movement of becoming an independent nation. This was the idea of India. Thank you so much for listening to me.